Hello and welcome to this demo on how to generate code from a diagram with Amazon Q Developer. So I have a simple diagram here with a file that I want to put in an S3 bucket. Then it triggers a Lambda function, and this Lambda function calls a third-party provider. I will use Workspace. Workspace comes with Amazon Q Developer, and it knows about the diagram that I have in my folder. So I will ask it to generate a lambda function and only the lambda function. And I want the code of that lambda to be in Python, and I ask it to generate this from the diagram. So after a few seconds, it generates a complete answer. So based on the diagram, it creates the code of my lambda function. So he understands that he has to get an object from my S3 bucket and prepare the data for the third-party provider. It proposes a way to call the third-party provider with a third-party API key and a third-party API endpoint. It also handles different type of errors, like a client error. For example, when the S3 bucket cannot access the object in the bucket, or some exceptions, like when the uh, Lambda cannot call the third-party provider. So now I will use Workspace again, and I will ask Amazon Q Developer to generate a Python CDK v2 template again from my diagram. So that means the infrastructure as code for this diagram. So after a few seconds, it generates a complete answer. So I find my S3 bucket. I also find a Lambda role with the policy. This policy will allow my Lambda to read my S3 bucket and the object in my S3 bucket. I find my Lambda function with the parameters we discussed earlier, the third-party API endpoint, the third-party API key, and you understand it will need an S3 event notification to trigger the Lambda. And finally, we have a complete folder structure for my CDK project. I can create this folder and copy paste my code and test it.